Make yourself clear. Make yourself all your do's and all your do's and make yourself clear, baby. If you wanna fool around.
Hey, what's up, people? It's your boy RDP Podcast, man. This is our first episode. I'm lucky to have in the house one of my good friends. I'd probably say more like family than a friend because it's been a long time, man. As a matter of fact, I can't remember. I was thinking, before we set this little podcast up, man, like when is the time that I didn't know Doyle and his family, man? And
For real.
to be quite honest with you, man, like I can remember us living in the West Side Projects, and my Aunt Kim actually, I think she was babysitting Nisha at the time. I don't even know if you were old enough, or maybe Pops wouldn't let you let you do a whole lot, man. But like that's from when I was a little dude, man. But so we came up together, man, and I didn't want to pass up an opportunity to get, like I said, one of my family members to be on, because he's family as far as I'm concerned.
Y'all family, man.
If he calls, I'm coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, man, we got Mr. Doyle Gray in the house with his first episode on the RDP Podcast, man. So,
Man.
appreciate you, boy.
Much
coming
love,
through.
baby. Much love.
Yeah.
Much love, man.
So, man, we both came from Bryan, Texas, man.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings, and I left, man, after high school and went off to the Marines, and you went off to college to play some ball.
I went to California, man. About a year after I graduated. And man, such a beautiful place, beautiful atmosphere, man. Playing that baseball out there, man, it's different.
Yeah, so Doyle was one of the few brothers, man, that actually took up baseball. Most of us, I think, played football and basketball, and it wasn't even on our radar to even pick up a bat, man. And I got a little cousin, John Lasson, we call him Papa, that his dad played baseball and kept him involved, man. But I was just like, the homies in the hood wasn't really talking about baseball, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity, man, because of the scholarships, the relationships I see you have with some of your baseball partners now. Like, y'all have grown up.
Yeah, we still locked in.
Yeah. And it's Doyle was able to do some traveling, man, and I lived out in California for a while, and it's a whole nother ball game out there, but just to open yourself up to be able to play the sport of baseball, like that's something unique. I would say in our culture, like we just don't really do that. The homies in the hood,
man, we overlook it. That's one thing I appreciate from my pops, man, because my pops played baseball a little bit in high school and growing up, and then his dad played baseball. Pretty tough, man.
So your grandfather?
Yeah, man. Okay. He played in the Army.
Oh man.
So so the Negro Leagues used to come over to the Army base and play them like in the off season, preseason.
I'm learning something today, y'all.
Yeah, man. So it blew my mind when I found it, because I didn't find this until later on after I'm done with baseball.
Right.
So like baseball was inherited, but man, baseball wasn't even my favorite sport, bro.
But you was good at it though.
Yeah, cause baseball. They say baseball 90% mental, dog. So, and 10% physical.
Okay.
So you understand it. See, I understood the game, bro, when I was like 3, 4, 5 years old, going to the games with my granddaddy and my daddy. They challenged me. But man, basketball was my thing, man.
Yeah.
Getting out great. Say, man, what you gonna do with a 5'8", 5'9" guy, man? Yeah. So I got too short for baseball. Love football. Played, fullback, linebacker. What you gonna do with a 5'8", 5'9" linebacker?
Right.
So I was like, mom was like, man, it's either college or military. I was like, dang. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I blessed with the opportunity to play baseball, man. Like you say, man, it took me to California, and then brought me back to Dallas and helped me get my degree. Because had it not been for baseball, man, like I'm probably working somebody 9 to 5.
Roger that. Yeah.
Right, and not getting an opportunity to gain the business part in college.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, that's you said a few minutes ago, it's 90% mental.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you just from my personal experience. My cousin Papa used to hate when his dad used to come get him and go to practice because his pops, John Lasson Sr., would pull up, man, and we would be outside playing, doing whatever, and he'd pull up like, hey, it's time for baseball practice. So Pop would leave and go to practice or whatever. But when we would watch game, we watched the Astros play, we watched the Rangers play. Pop understood the game. Yeah. So it was boring to me and my cousin Freddie. Yeah. But Pop would look at it and be like, no, he got 2 on. This who they just moved over here. Watch this happen. We sitting there like, man, what are you talking about, man? And he also stayed across the street from Leo and Brandon Chavarria.
Okay.
And that's a huge baseball family, man.
That's a baseball family.
Yeah, if you know them from West Side off of Boulevard, man, like that family is deeply ingrained in the baseball culture of the Brazos Valley, man. 100%. So I remember being out there with them, man, and their grandfather used to come out and he would be giving tips and this and like I say, me and my cousin Freddie, we wasn't taking it that serious, but he was really working with Brandon and Leo, and he would tell, give Pop some game every now and again. I'm like, dude, I just don't even understand what y'all, you know what I'm saying, what y'all talking about it. And I hate that was the case, right? Because later on in life, when I was coming out of Sam Houston State, I looked at the demographics for like scholarships for football, and I think I may have done like a report I had to do for one of my classes at Sam Houston, man, and it was showing at the time it was right before I got married to my ex-wife now, but she went to Elkins, and it was showing the money that the baseball scholarships had tied with them for those students. I'm like, you crazy? So you telling me maybe 1 or 2 kids may get to go play football or may run track or may get a basketball scholarship, but they giving 12 or 13 kids baseball scholarships with extra zeros at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how did I miss that? And it was eye-opening for me, man. And I've always appreciated the fact that, that whatever avenue that you saw yourself, like you've always been a stand-up dude. Like whatever you want to do, you're gonna go do it. It ain't even about what the. And I think part of that is having such a strong family. Like, let me just give y'all a little background on what Doyle's family meant to the community. Like Miss Gray, his mom, was one of the few black teachers that we saw growing up, right? So when you're coming up and you have you surrounded by gang members, you surrounded by pimps, prostitutes and the whole nine, and you don't see our people in that positive of a light. And then you go through the school system, nobody looks like you. Like nobody, unless they security, unless they a football coach or whatever. Yep. And then you land in Miss Gray's classroom and it's like, this is black excellence. Like this is like she really did what the teachers have told us we could do. So Bryan College Station was a great place to grow up and to be in because it's real family oriented. Leave your doors open. Everybody knows everybody. And you get these teachers along the way. Like I always talk about Miss Pratt I had at Johnson. She was the first person that grabbed me by my face and was like, you're going to do amazing things. Like I had never heard that, right? And so they're telling us these things, but we're not seeing people that look like us do the things that they're telling us that we can do. Right. So when you got a chance to meet Miss Gray, which is Doyle's mom, that was it's for real. Like it's like they wasn't just, BSing us, you know what I'm saying, bullshitting us with all of that. Like here is the embodiment of what they're telling us that we can be, and to have your dad involved, man, and like just having that was had to be an amazing experience, man. Especially when you because you were wise enough to, I would say, to know when you could hang with the cats that was getting in trouble, but you knew where to cut it off at. Like you knew where not to cross that line.
Yeah, man. And so, man, so just as tough as mom was in the classroom, man, just imagine how tough she is, at the house, man. So, man, she was very, 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 man, I won't say she was strict, but, it just, you have to carry yourself a certain way, That's fine to go out there and go hang with your boys, hang out with the gangsters and the, drug dealers, but you still know what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those requirements were always there as a little kid. You don't sag your pants. Yeah. You know what I mean? Certain shirts, you tuck those in, and that kind of stuff. And you carry it. Everybody was, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They never, my mom and dad never expected us to say, yes, sir, no, ma'am, all that kind of stuff in the house. But, to everybody else and the others, man. So And she did the same thing for everybody. Everybody was her kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you, Fred Caldwell, man, Dennis Figures, man, that y'all were her babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say, with you saying that, I can say that the few times Miss Gray would pull you aside, she wouldn't only get on to you, you did what I'm saying? Like, whatever you was doing, she would always say, especially with my family, like the Caldwell side of my family, because they were close with Dawes' family, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I don't know a time where they weren't around. And she would always say, what would your grandmother think? You know what I'm saying? Or what would, like, you represent your family when you out here doing whatever it is. So if she was that hard on us, I could just imagine the expectation that you and Dawes got an older sister, Nisha, had at home, man. So, dude, like, huge shout out to Miss Gray, man. Like she
tough, man.
I don't think she will ever realize, like, those of us that were able to chance upon having her for a teacher or to meet her in those hallways, like what she did to a kid that may have been about to take the wrong, might go left when he should have went right. Like, because you didn't even have to be her student, you didn't have to be in her class. If she seen you doing something that she knew was beneath the person that she knew that you could be, she was gonna let you know, and she'll let you know today. Like, nothing has changed. And when you have people like that throughout your growing up, then I would say you don't really have an excuse to fall short of what is intended for you. Because I could most of y'all know my story now. Like, my mom had me at a very young age. My dad was never really involved. But I can sit here right now and I can tell you that there were people like Miss Gray along the way that God put there because he knew that I needed those things. And so I wouldn't allow myself to have the excuse to say, well, because mom or dad didn't do this, I didn't know better. No, because I had somebody like Miss Gray, or I had like Mr. Gray when Dawes' father would come around, or Pop's father. Like, they held you to a higher standard. So you got the expectations from, I call them the ancestors. They still around. I call them the ancestors because I hold them in such high regard. So even now, when I'm about to say something, when I'm about to do something, when I'm about to make a move, I think about my grandmother. I think about Papa's daddy, Cookie. I think about Miss Gray. I think about Mr. Gray. Like, I think about all these people that God placed that always told me to expect more of myself.
100%.
And so I didn't have the opportunity to make those excuses. Now, they're there, right? But what is that going to do for me and my family and my kids if I allow those excuses to keep me in a place that's less than what God intended? Yeah,
and you wouldn't be where you are, man. Like I say, shout out to Mom, man. I love that lady. I love that lady to death, man. So like say, expectations, man. So it's just things that I've done in life that I really just didn't have a choice but to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So man. So grammar.
Okay.
So when you with your boy, you can loosen up a little bit. But man, Mom was an English teacher before she became a counselor, and so everything we say, we couldn't even be joking too much. She gonna correct you. If it's a they are or there, how would you spell it? THERE. No, sir. What are you thinking about? THER, little stuff like that, man. But now that I look back, I was like, man, I thought we were getting punished and all. But now that you look back, man, it's everything that was taught. Now we're teaching,
right?
You know what I mean? And just so that whole platform, man, of that family, Mama always said, man, Daddy always said, leave it better than you found it. So that whole saying stuck with me. So I feel like our goal in life, bro, is to subside better than what our parents.
Right.
So we got to live our life to show our kids the better than what we.
Right. Roger that.
Yeah, man. And so that's what it is, man. Them steps, man, that foundation is there. So it's our time now to just keep building what's there. Yeah. Versus tearing it up or starting all over.
Roger that. So, and I see that happening a lot of times, man, where, like I said, I call them the ancestors, even though that they're still here. Like, they gave us everything that we need to be successful because they gave us the strength, they gave us the intelligence, they gave us the things that started us off in the right direction. in a land of opportunities. Like people complain about the United States, people complain about America and all that, but this is the one place, and I've traveled all over the world. Like I've been lucky enough to where I had an aunt, shout out to my Aunt Deb, that took me and showed me Germany and showed me California, showed me, probably 20 different states and several different countries to where I was able to see outside of the hood. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't able to make up the excuses for myself, right? So if they gave us all of these things and we handed to our babies even better than they had, like it comes full circle, man. Like, and that's what it should be. Like our intention should be mom and dad, sacrificed so that I could have, or so that I can walk. And now you, what's Aiden? Aiden can fly. Yeah. And so, real briefly, man, like if you see Doyle at a game, or he's going to watch the Aggies play, or he's going to do something that work related or just man things, he's always got his son with him. Yeah. And I applaud you for that, right? Because, a lot of times it's easy for us to create a baby and just kind of move on, pay the money, whatever it may be, and kind of do our own thing and pop in every now and again and give him a hug. But you've really shown your son like everything that you go do, he does. Yeah. Like how does do you feel like that's something that you learned from your father, or you feel like you just improving on what, like?
100%, man. One thing about my dad, man, my dad supported every freaking thing that I've done. Man, I'm talking about from soccer to baseball to football to basketball. His biggest thing was, man, even if you shooting marbles, I'm going to be your biggest fan. And so just that whole relationship, man, my dad is my best friend, man. Yeah. Well, rest his soul, but man, my dad was my best friend, man. Yeah. And so Aiden is gradually getting to that point where, like, hey, daddy is pretty cool, and so, but man, that's just how I was, man. So my dad didn't really have that relationship with his father that he wanted. Okay. So he made sure that when I have mine, if I have a son, I'm there for it, and he has done that.
Yeah, Pops was there, man. Like I can, and this is not me just trying to shine on Mr. Gray, but I can honestly say from, like, I always seen him there. Like you didn't see Doyle without his father being somewhere. Yeah. Like he was, and it does something for a son to look in the stands and see his father. Yeah, I have two boys myself. Robert Perry Jr., the second rather, and then Ryan, who's out at the park now doing his thing. But when they're playing basketball or football, and he's dabbling in baseball as well, there's moments. There was a couple of games ago I went to see Ryan play, and he wasn't, I don't know what's going on with the school he was at. I'm not going to get into that. But he wasn't playing as much as he should have been playing. Mm-hmm. And when he wanted to get frustrated and pissed off, he looked at me in the stands.
Looked in the stands, yeah.
And I would just say, hey, you good. And so he Daddy being there and letting him know, like, dude, we, like, you good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're good is different than Daddy, like, you looking up in the stands and there's nobody there to support you. There's nobody there to, you know what I'm saying? And you go from that phase of, if you're going to be a father and if you're going to be a good father, I'm going to say this. This is just my perspective. Take it how you want. Disagree with me. 9 times out of 10, everybody in the house is probably going to hate you at some point. Oh, yeah. Right? Because you have to be the disciplinarian. You have everything that they feel like they don't. I'll say they feel like they don't want. You're the person that is the embodiment of that. Right? So I went through stages with both my boys. Dwayne's about to be 18 in April. Ryan just turned 14. And there was a stage where it's like, man, Daddy is always the one that shows up when I get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that I've done is not only do I discipline them, but when the smoke is settled, when I'm in a good place, and they're in a good place, I always talk to them like, hey, son, this is why this had to happen. Yeah. Right? Like, if I would have allowed you to speak to a female that way, then that's going to become habit. And then you're going to be an abuser. Yeah. You're gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have that. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have that. Like, my dad wasn't there. But again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I can't let that be an excuse because I did have people that were there. My grandfather was there. We had people like your father that was there. Where if he knew you was a Caldwell and he knew you was somehow attached to that, like, hey man, like Elnora, Alice Caldwell wouldn't allow you to talk like that or do none of that. So what are we doing here? So when you live in a place like Bryan, Texas, and everybody knows everybody, like you're not getting away with nothing. Like it's somebody knows, and somebody gonna pick up that phone and call, man. And I just want to commend you because I see you downloading everything that your dad and you up to the level. Like you're increasing that, and he's probably gonna increase it too.
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time, my dad wasn't really involved with me. But my sons don't even know it because I'm so active in their life. Like you break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a cycle that I needed to break. Yeah. And although that excuse was available to me, like I can go out and be an idiot and do all this stupid stuff and say, well, it's because my dad he acted a fool and he wasn't there, or my mom did this and that. But I was like, nah, like I'm just gonna pass that along to them, right? And then I'm visiting them in jail. I'm putting money on their commissary. But what if it just stops at me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what if it stops right there?
Yeah, like, am I not strong enough? And growing up in with the grandparents I had, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Like, so you don't, if he's put it on your heart, which I can say that he did, that it was like, dude, you gotta stop this. Like, you gotta be the one to stop this.
You did just that, dog. You did just that, man. Man, I remember growing up, bro, watching you and Pop, man. Y'all boys were so smooth, so clean, man. Going back to them Kemp dances.
Yeah.
Like, man, y'all boys, y'all a couple years older than me, but man, we kept eyes on you, man.
Yeah.
Man, y'all some cool dudes, man. And then but on the flip side, we family. At the end of the day. But just watching y'all, man, y'all set the path for a lot of us, man. So that you don't really have an excuse to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because especially in your case, bro. Like, I really commend you because at any given time you could have went left, man.
Yeah.
You took care of your business in the military, man. You still kept. Bro, I remember coming over, man, plenty of time. Ruck, man, what you going? You gonna go run this mile with me? 2 miles? Like, God damn, man. Shit, you know what I mean? I'm built for comfort, baby. Not this kind of shit. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh, man. But I still jumped out there with you, man, just because of the love, man, and, and understanding what's coming behind it, man. And like I say, dog, just kicking it with y'all boys, man. It's just always been something different, man, because I'm the only boy, so I don't have any brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you, Pop, man, Nunn, Justin, y'all my brothers, dog. Yeah. Fred Caldwell, that's my freaking dog, man. That boy called me right now. Oh, man, I got you, man.
Yeah.
That's my dude, man. But yeah, man.
And he might call. He might call you. So if you watch this, Fred, don't just be calling Doyle on no bullshit, man. Make sure you want something when you call him, man. But when you say that, man, like when I think back now and I think about God doing things for a certain reason, right? So I lived in California in the early 90s. This is when crack had hit. It hit the hood. I watched it hit Bryan. I watched it sweep through Ryan. I moved out to California. Crips and Bloods were like, this is at the height. This is at the point where the murder rate had jumped up. Like if you was between probably 12 and 18, like you were in a gang or you didn't exist. So to be able to see that firsthand, right, and then to come back, to move back from California to Bryan, I can remember distinctly myself, my cousin Papa, and my little cousin Freddie, rest in peace, Mr. Freddie Ray Lockett Jr., man. I can remember us sitting down in my cousin's kitchen or in Pop's little game room off Austin Street, off Boulevard in Bryan, and us deciding at that point, like, man, if we want to do the gang thing, we can do that. Like, it's out here for us to do. If we want to do the sell dope deal, like, we can do that. It's out here. Like, we got firsthand knowledge of all those things. But it's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Why not look at the college thing? Why not look at let me send these these Jabot jeans to fabricate, get creases in them,
Yeah,
and put the Ralph Lauren on and do that kind of thing and kind of carry that. So we were imitating or emulating what we were seeing on TV from those that carried themselves in a way that we only aspire to be. And we weren't able to do it every day, but then when we did, it was like, man, like the little homies, like they digging this. So now we've provided another route for them. So Player Made comes about. You dig what I'm saying? And we members of what we call Player Made, where it's not on some gang stuff. It's not on some dope stuff. It's on about being player. And that's kind of like Texas slang. Like if you player, that means you handling your business in whatever way, shape, form that may be. Whether you work a 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying, or whether you starting a business or doing whatever, like that's player. Like you really handling your business and you handling it the right way. There's no, you're not doing anything illegal. You're not doing anything that's going to hurt anybody. You carry yourself in a manner that's player. You dig what I'm saying? So that's something that you're going to probably hear, laced throughout the conversation that I may have with Doyle or some of the people that you may hear from Brian. It's like we was Player Made. Doyle's a member as well. Myself, Pop, Mike, JD, Derek Foley, my cousin Freddie that passed away, that boy 2-9. Like this was a clique that held itself above, I would say, the standards of what the streets expected.
Yeah, man.
Right? Because when you see a young black man coming up where there's not a whole lot of opportunity, you expect him to go a couple of different ways, join a gang or start selling dope. But what if we did something a little different?
Do something different. Man. Say, man, just popping up, man, like say with your Guess jeans, your Bow jeans, got your Polo Hill figure with the polo boots. Come on, man. That shit different, dog. I took that shit to California, man, and man, hell in the summertime, man, it's warm. And them boys talking shit, man, why you wearing pants with some boots, man? What the fuck wrong with you? Say, this is how we rock it, man. Yeah. I ain't even hot. You know what I mean? Just that whole difference, man. You separate yourself, because now that's a distinguished young man. Yeah, you gonna get the attention from the right places. You know what I mean? But then you gonna get the hate that's gonna come with it. And we built for it, man. That's why I can't everybody jump in this thing that we got going on, man. But shit, that brotherhood, man, it's different.
And it's I can honestly say it's for life, man. Like there's probably everybody that I just named to you, man. And if I forgot somebody, please, I apologize. I can pick up the phone and call them, man, and their doors are gonna be open. I can't tell you, like I've had to sleep on some couches. I've had to borrow some cars. I've had to borrow some money. You dig what I'm saying? I've had to do some things that the world may not have seen because I had a group of brothers behind me that made sure if he needed, he had. And I've done the same too. Like if things ain't good, let's chat about how to get it better. But while you're doing that, you got a place to stay. You're gonna eat. You're not gonna want for nothing. Because the bond that we created all those years ago when we was just some young cats trying to figure out how to navigate through a world that expected so little of you, but you guys expected more of yourselves, right? So even those that had the better of blessings, you had your mom and your dad there. We still raised the bar. Like we still on some, because, and we finna get into this too. Is, how many businesses have you started? Like
two, man. I have two business, man. I have a roofing company, and then I got a hot shot company.
Okay.
And but just that whole business part, that was just going back to college. I only minored in business.
Okay.
Right? I majored in kinesiology, but just that little, them few classes, that business, man, they align me. And then just watching, man, just always just being observant of everything, man, and just having the right connections, right people. And so you get to a point to where all right, man, well, I'm busting my ass working for so-and-so, and it seemed like he just taking my money and they buying new trucks, Corvettes, boats, all that shit. And I'm like, man, and they just steady pushing. Hey, hustle harder, sell harder. But at the same time, that light switch, man, like, shit, dude, like, you can do this shit yourself.
Yeah.
And then so you have to have faith in God, man.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's times I could have. So, like, man, my roofing company was really established in 2020.
Okay.
But I really didn't just take off with it to, like, the beginning of 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, that's just because, man, so I'm going through 3 years, bro, of, like, the scared of failure.
Yeah.
You know, and then one thing, Pops always said, whatever you do, you do it 100%. And then so I was like, even if I fail, I'm still gonna be okay because now I learn.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I put 100% into everything or whatever I do, you can't fail. Especially when you trusting in God.
So I don't know if it was Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky. I can't. It's eluding me right now. But they said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
You don't take.
So, but before we move on past that, I'm not gonna let y'all, like, this is the opportunity to express, like, my man's business. So what's the roofing company? What's the name of the roofing company?
Loyalty Roofing and Construction.
Loyalty Roofing and Construction. So they don't just do roofing. If you're watching this and you need anything done.
Anything, man. I'm talking back of your house. If you want to do an add-on to what you got, like a bigger patio. You know, if you want to put a pergola there, man, you want to do an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, man, we got guys that touch everything.
Is it just Brian, or can y'all travel to do
Oh, man, we're all over the place, man. Man, we've been doing stuff in Dallas.
Okay.
Tyler was real good to us in 24.
Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler, man. Hey, y'all show up, man. Y'all kept a brother head above water, man. But, always in Houston.
Yeah.
Doing some stuff, man. So, like, this period right here, that December, January, beginning of February, that's what I call hunting season, right? So, because it kind of slows down, so it gives you the opportunity, to go to knock doors, go pass out cars, establish more business. Because in the roofing side, man, you work today for tomorrow, this week for next week, this month for next month. So, so you have to, it teaches you to, how to budget.
Put that front end work in.
Man, yeah. So you have to, you have to go get it. And, man, so I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
And you have to be in sales, you have to have that gift, to understand, all right, so there's going to be some no's.
Yeah.
Right? And once you get that, once you get to the point to where I won't get my feelings hurt by a no.
Yeah.
Because I'm knowing that, just like baseball, right? You 3 out of 10, that's 300. Okay. At the end of the day, it's 30%, so you're failing at 70%. Right? But you're failing through the world eyes, percentage-wise, but you're still good. So 300 to get you into the Hall of Fame in baseball. So you know what I mean? So out of 300 at-bats, or out of 1,000 at-bats, I only get on, or I get 300 hits, but there's 700 times that I got out. Right? But I still get into the Hall of Fame.
That's more than twice.
You see what I'm saying? Just that 30%. And so I put that towards the roofing side. Okay. So if I go knock on 10 doors, I'm expected to at least get 3 customers out of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And if I get those 3 customers, bro, like, then that's just going to create that pipeline to where somebody else going to tell somebody else.
So I don't want to miss this either. So earlier when we were talking, we were talking about Miss Gray, and he was saying how she held him to the standard of how he presented himself with how he spoke and those types of things. So now that's coming back at this point in his life to where he can sit in any room. I've watched him. In any room, he's comfortable because the standards were so high with him growing up that he knows how to speak. He knows when to turn it on. He can move through the streets and talk to them guys on the streets, but he can move to the CEO in the boardroom and be there as well. Yeah. All because of the things that were taught to him at such a young age and having that bar raised so high, man. So that's, like, you don't really realize in the midst of things that you're going through that it's teaching you what you're going to need for God to take you to the next level, right?
Amen, dude. For real, dude.
A lot of times a bunch of people will miss out on their blessings is because they're not allowing God to teach them what he's trying to teach them where they're at right 100%,
now. 100%.
So I've learned to be humble like in wherever I'm at, like I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel. Like God, what are you trying to show me? Because I've learned also that God will allow you to repeat those same mistakes over and over until you learn.
Man.
Right? So you have these people complaining about where they are in life and what is going on and why they aren't moving forward and why they have you learned what God is trying to teach you there. So that when he levels up, when you level up, you're not carrying that same baggage. You're not looking at it with the same perspective. You realize that you are where God needed you to be at that point in time so he can even move you even further up. Right? So I say to everybody, like, be patient and just pray and like, God, give me clarity, because that's one of my prayers. Like, God, give me clarity in what you're trying to teach me, because I don't want to be stuck here. And I know you're not going to let me level up until I understand what you're trying to teach me here at this place.
Man, when you pray, though, you better expect, right, what you're praying for and be ready when it happens, because, man, I spent numerous of nights, man, just on the knees, like, hey, what's my next move?
Yeah.
Right? Because, it seemed like I just kept staying in neutral, but I can see where I want to be until it gets to
he showed you.
Man, he's seeing you. You can see what you want or what's there for you.
Roger that, yeah.
Right? But you got to be patient. And so he just, you like that pit bull on the chain. You know, you trying to get to, but boy, once that chain snap, right?
Yeah.
Somebody in trouble. You know, and that's kind of like how I looked at that thing, man. Like, you know, I was on that chain for so long, I can see where I want to get to. You know, and I know once I get there, I'm gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
And so, man, you know, God kept me patient, man. Kept me patient. Taught me how to be humble, man. And so when I do give this to you, you're not gonna mess it up.
Yeah, and that's,
you know?
I think that's a lot of times too. We pray for things and situations that we're not ready to handle when He does give it to us. I'll frequently see people, and I talk about this all the time if y'all follow me on social media, like, you praying for a good man or a good woman, but are you really ready for it?
Are you ready?
You may be tired of what you've been getting, but are you preparing yourself in the midst of God creating who He needs to be in your life? Because once He gives it to you, you dig what I'm saying? Are you going to be in a place to fertilize that, to watch that grow?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
You know, and so be careful what you're praying for. Like, are you really ready for what? Because God can put something in your lap that's gonna blow your nose. You dig what I'm saying? That's gonna put you. That's gonna, you know, it's gonna shake up your whole world. And if you're not prepared for that, if you're not, you know, you haven't been in self-reflection and you haven't been in self-growth and these things so that you're ready for it when it comes, then you're just gonna destroy it. You dig what I'm saying? You're gonna
you might not get that opportunity again.
That may be your only opportunity. Yeah, roger that. Man. So what about the hot shot? I want to leave that in the hot shot. What's the name of the hot shot company?
The hot shot is Yogi Logistics.
Yogi Logistics.
And so, man, after Pops died, man, I've been trying to, you know, I kept looking for different things, man, to honor my father in. You know. And so his nickname is Yogi.
Had no idea, man.
Man. So his nickname was Yogi. So, you know, like, you know, he had a couple of nicknames, but Yo, you know, that's what they called him in Giles, Texas, man. Daddy from Giles, man. Hey, if you sneeze, man, coming down 79, you missed that whole little old town, man. You know, but Daddy nickname growing up was Yogi.
Okay.
You know, and so you know, I was, you know, trying to figure out, you know, different things to honor him, and then Yogi just hit, man, you know. And then so, man, shout out my little brother, your little cousin, man, Jay Jones, man. Okay. Shout out to Jay. Jay really the one that really got us to start that hot shot stuff, man. You know, I get tired of hearing that boy, you know. Damn.
He's a knucklehead.
Oh man, you know, he upset with this job. He upset at that. So I was like, all right, man. So if I can create opportunity for you, man, to where that you won't have no boss. Yeah. Right.
Only person you're gonna be upset with is yourself.
It's yourself. And so, man, you know, so we was able to. He like a little brother, so you know that was another big deal for him. Also honoring Pop, so. You know, shout out to Jay Jones, man. You know, like say Yogi, you know, got off the feed because of him. You know.
Shout out to Lil Cuz, man. He hit me up about a week ago, man. And Cuz one of them people that you may go 2-3 months without hearing from him. So when the phone ring, you thinking something wrong.
Something wrong.
So I'm like, man, hey,
do I want to answer?
Yeah, man, what's going on? So he was like, no, kinfolk, I'm just making sure you good, man. And Good dude, man.
Good
Shout
dude,
out to
man.
JJ.
Hard to go, man. That dude there, man. Shoot, man.
He's still in that I would say that area to where he doesn't realize his potential. Like he's just living right. Like he doesn't really get
100%.
like, man, you got the people in place behind you, and you have the intelligence, and he can talk to people too. Like he can go into a room and he'll captivate the room, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's embraced it yet. Like he hasn't embraced it yet, man. So, but that's what we're here for. You feel me? So we gotta like that's God gave Doyle the opportunity to provide an opportunity for TJ. So we here, like, so we can keep planting that seed in him, man, and he'll take over after we.
He gonna take over after eventually, man.
Yep.
That switch went off with us.
Yeah.
You know, and that switch gonna go off, you know, with him. And then, but once that boy dig down, man, and you know, on the baseball side, once you bow your neck, man, that dude, they're gonna be,
it's gonna be all right, man.
Something special with him, man.
Yeah. So we have loyalty. Roofing and construction, and Yogi Logistics.
Yeah, man. And they say you don't let the left hand know what the right hand about to do, but man, it doesn't just stop there, man.
Okay.
You know, I got some other things in the pipeline that you know, that's gonna be real beneficial to the community.
Oh man.
You know, I'm big on the community, bro.
This is true.
Yeah, man. But on side of that, man, a lot of people don't realize, man. You know, I've been coaching my boy. Shoot, since he was a little poo sniffer, man. And so, man, Ty Warren came to me, man.
Shout out to little cousin.
Yeah, big Ty, man. Doing big things. So he had X Factor football.
Okay.
Right? And so, we grew up, we was playing for the Brazos Valley Hurricanes. The Hurricanes turned into the Brazos Valley Braves. And so I ain't gonna go into details, man. You know, but
don't give them too much.
The Braves broke up, right? You know, at spur of the moment, and so Ty hit me up at the blue, like, "Kinfolk, man, come holler at your boy right quick." So man, I go hook up with Ty, man. We go to Milliken, man. We go to the country and everything, and then so I'm quiet, man, and he was like, "Folk, man, what the hell wrong with you, man? You know, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Man, I'm good for it." Like, "Nah, fuck that, man. You know, something ain't right." And then so I told him, I was like, "Man, so we had a whole organization shut down, man. We probably had about 150 kids, man.
Oh, man.
Man, just shut down.
Just the Brazos Valley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Shut down. All baseball players, man. All colors, man. And so, so Ty was like, "The fuck you waiting on?" His exact word. He said, "What the fuck you waiting on?" I was like, "Man, who the fuck you talking to?" You know, hey, y'all don't know Ty, man. Ty like 6'5", 6'6", man, about 325, 330, you know, see, he ain't no little dude. So I'm like, "Man, who the fuck you talking to?" He like, "Man, what the fuck you waiting on?"
Yeah.
And he just throwing that shit at me like that, dog, and I'm like, "Man, I don't even know, bro. I just really do want to deal with this big ass motherfucker right now."
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm still, man, my feelings still hurt from that shit. So he's like, "This your opportunity to do what the fuck I've been asking you to do." I'm like, "Yeah, you right, fool."
Oh, man.
Going back to scared for failure.
Yeah.
Ty been wanting me to do this X Factor thing, you know, like a year and a half prior to that moment.
Yeah. Don't give him too much, though.
Man, so we started X Factor, man. Little man was 9.
Y'all ain't gonna get too much. You gotta stay tuned, baby.
Man, so we X Factor, we started X Factor. See, Aiden was 9, he's 15. So like 7 years ago.
Damn.
And so X Factor baseball, man, it was geared towards minorities, blacks and Mexicans.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that, man. It's geared toward. So now we don't have an excuse. Baseball is too expensive.
Okay. So we cut out all that.
We cut out all that, dog.
All that
hey, if you want to play baseball and you want to learn the game, here's your opportunity. So, man, I on the baseball side, I've been the face for X Factor, but Ty is the one that put his foot in my ass, and you know, so that helped me to really crank up my business, because now I know how to run things.
Oh man,
you know, now I know how to maneuver, and you know how to talk to people, and you know how to help people. Yeah, man.
So that's dude, there's so much running through my mind right now. And I'm just thinking about how, I said earlier how God places people in your path to just give you that little, just give you that little nudge, man. And if Ty wouldn't have been there with that conversation with us, you know what I'm saying? Would there have been somebody else that
if Ty wouldn't have had that conversation with me, bro, I probably would have been one of those parents that would have, maybe I should focus on my son.
Just your son, yeah.
Because everybody from all over Bryan, Houston, Dallas, Austin, everybody wanted my son to come play for him.
Yeah. Shout out to Aiden.
Yeah, man.
Aiden, yeah, he the truth. Aiden great. Look him up, baby.
Yeah, man. But so then I'm thinking, like, what about these other kids?
Yeah.
That I've been dealing with for the last 2 or 3 years. I can't leave these kids behind. And so like I say, that's why I went with that, man.
I told you, that's that Bryan, Texas in it. Like it's such a tight community, man, especially for, dude, and don't get me wrong. I want to say this, especially for minorities, right? Like we really band together in that community, but we wouldn't have been able to get where we've been able to go without our white brothers and sisters, right?
Yes.
So let me say that.
Yes.
Let me listen. You hearing that from my mouth?
Yes.
The black and brown community has had to really stick together in Bryan College Station, but we wouldn't have been able to get where we have been able to get and go even further if it wasn't for our white brothers and sisters that joined alongside of us because they saw the talent, they saw what was missing. You dig what I'm saying? And that what we had to offer was available. It made everybody better. Like we rise, the tides, when they rise, if the lowest of us can rise to the top, then what does that do for everybody else? You dig what I'm saying? So, man, that's huge, man. Like I'm looking forward. And before I leave this point, me and Doyle sat down and had lunch a couple weeks ago, man. And I told him that I might be working for him soon because he's doing some great things, man. So anytime you have a man that says, I have a kid that's a great athlete, there's schools and there's coaches that are looking to get that kid, but the dad still feels obligated to help those that don't have the exposure that he like. That's something great there. Like I want to be a part of that because I came from the same community, and if those people in that community would have propped me up when I needed it most, y'all wouldn't be getting the RDP that y'all get now. Like I meet people and they see me where I am now, and they think that I had mom and dad. They think that I had money growing up. They think that my life was a piece of American pie that people dream about, but it ain't been that way. Yeah. I just happen to have a Mr. and Miss Gray. I happen to have brothers like Doyle. I happen to have my Caldwell, Lockett, Perry, Smith family that even when I was trying to step off the porch and do some stupid stuff, it was like, no, like you got to be the one.
Yeah.
I'm the first grandchild on the Caldwell side and like the third on the Perry side. And my mom, the women in my family, and my grandparents held me, like they held me in such high regard. Every move I made, I felt like I had to make sure that I was a reflection of them when I made it. And that kept me from doing a whole lot of stupid shit. You dig what I'm saying? So, man, like it's a blessing, man, to be here today, man, to be sitting with, like I said, this is my brother, like, and this ain't some podcast shit. Like this is real. Like
it's real. Yeah.
Like if I go into town, you dig what I'm saying? This is who I choose to be with. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where he's going. I know the direction that he's headed in. Like I don't have time to get caught up with, because especially in these small, and we're gonna talk about this too, especially in these small towns. Like I think the resources and the opportunities are so scarce. Like people are fighting over them, and they're willing to do things that you wouldn't normally do to get those opportunities and those resources. So man, how do you personally, coming from a small town like we come from, like how do you deal with the negativity? Like some of those small, like I know you get hated on. You play a mate, like you player with yours. Man. I used to live there, so I know what being player like.
Sheesh. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna freaking lie, man. It's nice, man, that, I hear so much shit, man, and it be, some of his family, man. Shit, dude. You think people really pulling for you, man, and then you just, you hear things. That's the downside of a small town, man. Like, you know what I mean? You hear stuff, and it's people that, man, like, you would give your shirt out the back for
break bread with. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I feel like I'm still that same dude, man.
Yeah.
You know, business or whatever, dude. Like hell, when I didn't have money.
Yeah.
You know, we gonna figure. You need $2 or $3, then we gonna figure this shit out together.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm still that same type of person, man. But it's nice, bro. Like I come home, man, and just put my head in my hands, man, and just damn near want to cry, man, because like you feel like you're giving out so much. Like, how could there be any negative that come behind it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my biggest thing is the community, man. Like I want to grow this with the kids, man.
Yeah.
I want these kids
sir.
You know, to look for. I don't give a damn if I'm nobody's hero or you know, somebody I look. Just figure out a way to be better than me, man.
Yeah.
Cause that's been my goal, man. With you know the older guys that you know that I come along up under, they've all got to be better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I try to instill in these youngsters, man. Like, and I got, you know, I provide opportunity. So, like, even with the roofing company, man, the door is always open.
Okay.
If you need a job, you want a job, you gotta hustle though.
Yeah.
You know, because the expectations of hustling, you know, because I want you to make money. I want you to live comfortable. You know, same thing with the trucking. You know, you go get your CDL, man, get you a vehicle. Go drive, man. I got plenty of that dispatchers. We can get you where you, man. Come on, man.
Hey, Brian.
But the damn hate behind it, he think he too good.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of shit. You know, he moved over here.
Yeah.
Man, and so that shit be hurting. Now I'm glad you brought that up. Cause man, that shit it bothers you, man.
And so it's a strange thing to ponder on, because what you're doing is what you thought they wanted us to do.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to do better. You're supposed to be able to afford this house over there. You're supposed to have that nice GMC you got out there. You're supposed to be able to provide opportunities.
Right.
But then you got the same people that you thought was riding with you to be able to do that and rooting for you to be able to get to that place. Those are the ones that end up hating on you. But what's worse is when it's family that does that. Like, that's what really kills you, because it's like, I'm out here doing what I thought was going to lift up the family, lift up the hood, lift up everybody that was around me that needed these opportunities that I'm now able to provide. So this is what I tell myself. Like, my success shines a spotlight on the shortcomings of those that are around me.
That's awesome.
Right? So when you doing what you doing, when you pull up at the store and you jump out and you fill your car with gas, there's somebody there hating on you because they know where you came from and where you gone, and it's shining the spotlight on. Like, I could have did the same thing too, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. So now all I'm left to do is pick up the phone and hate on it. Like, man, this dude DOYLE up here doing.
Man, I seen that fool at the gas.
Yeah.
He ain't even speak to me, knowing damn well I done chunk you the deuce.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of shit, man. And
because, you know, when they say that crabs in a barrel mentality, man, and I'm not gonna go into detail on that, is that there's a lot of people that I would say are in the bottom 95% that if they co-sign for some ignorance or some stupid shit, they will. Like, they all just accumulate together, right? But they ask me when I come to visit, why don't I hang out more, and why don't I do this and that? Why don't I stay for the weekend? Why don't I stay? Because I know what y'all got going on. Like, y'all not trying to do nothing, and y'all not about to carry me down with you.
Yep.
Because I have 4 kids now. I got 7. You know what I'm saying? That I'm responsible for. And they look at me, and I don't even be realizing this, like, they look at me as the example of what a man is supposed to be. So how am I gonna be caught up in this ignorance that y'all doing?
Right.
And I gotta go home and be a representation of what a good man is.
Oh, look at all that shit that you put in jeopardy on losing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus somebody that can give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, if they lose anything.
Roger that.
And that's where I feel the difference is. You know, going back to the expectations, like, I can't afford to do some stupid shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And traumatize everything that I don't work hard for. Just to hang out with you, so I can be cool.
Yeah.
Well, you don't give a damn if you run a red light and run over some damn body.
Yeah. Or go back to jail.
Or go back to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, man,
yeah, when I see that, you know, cats that are older than me or the same age as me still talking about getting on social media, talking about gang banging and the fighting and doing this kind of thing. It's like, dude, you ain't at a point right now where you got too much to lose to be risking that type of behavior. Like, what are you doing still acting like this? We should be wiser now. So even the kids that are 16, 17, 18 should know better now. And you 40. You 50 years old. Man, what? Yeah. And you want me to come hang out with you? That's gonna be a negative, sir. No. Let me call him.
I still love you, man, but yeah, man,
I just gotta love you from a distance because I'm on a path to doing something that's never been done before for my family and those around me, and you don't give a damn about what you're doing. Yeah. And then it's my fault that I didn't put money on your books, and it's Mama's fault that she ain't came to see you this weekend. Yeah. You was out here in the free world. Why ain't you taking care of Mama? Why is Mama still having to go? So Mama got to go back to work to just be able to afford some money for you to get some commissary. When you could have been out here on these streets, letting Mama retire, and you bring that check home and come on, man. Like that type of ignorance we have to get. Dude, this
we gotta get past it.
It's a whole the state of our thought process as a black community is a whole nother podcast. I'm not even going to get into it because it's going to be man. Yeah, it's going to be it's going to get real bad. A lot of people are going to hate me. Some of them hate me now because some of the stuff that I post because I believe in accountability. I will say that. Like, I believe in accountability. Are we pointing the finger at the wrong person when you have every opportunity to do whatever you're saying that they're keeping you from doing?
Bingo.
And you just don't want to do the work.
And piggybacking on that shit, brother, what you just said, man, that's what they mad at the president.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hey.
At the end of the day, we've had, he's 46, 47?
47.
We have 47 damn presidents. Now one of them fucking presidents did anything to hinder you making $1.
Hey, stop.
Shit.
Hold on, man. Listen
so
to me.
Why are we so mad at the presidents? That's why I was like, it doesn't matter who gets in office.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna try to figure out a way, you know, to better myself financially. You know, just so I can live comfortably.
Roger that. So I saw it's Black History Month, and so I'm seeing posts every day that come up, and I'm seeing people that as far back as the 1800s that they're able to manage to pull themselves up and become millionaires as Black Americans. This is in the 1800s. We're in 2025. So if you have seen a Black person able to do it in 1800s, and here we are in 2025
with every opportunity.
Who's stopping you?
Exactly.
For real, who's stopping you? Or are you stopping you because you bought into the belief that there's an obstacle in your way? Mm-hmm. Because if I see this person 1870 something that has done it, I guarantee you they've been through more shit than you have.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you the obstacles that they have faced is something that you will never see. So are you just using that as an excuse to a bunch of people that accept those excuses? Like I said, more than 95% will accept those excuses. But I'm a fool when I call you out. Like I'm a bad person, and I done gave up on the cause, and I done
you're a damn hater. And,
man, we know what we're going.
Come on, man.
We know where we're going, man. Like we might have to do a part 2.
We gonna have to we're gonna have to. Golly, man.
And here's a man that I'm talking to my brother Doyle here, that has 2 businesses. I have a credit repair business, as well as I take people out. I take veterans and first responders out to hunt. All those things
that shit awesome, right?
That I do. This podcast right here. Nobody stopped me from doing this. Like, I invited Doyle down. I bought the equipment. We set up. We do it. Like, there's no obstacle in the way. And it can grow depending upon if you guys share it, if you guys really like it or want to support me or whatever the case may be. But the point that I'm trying to make is, from my credit repair company to this podcast, to me eventually, when Doyle hired me to be able to work with him, nothing's stopping me from going from 0 to 100. I'm 47 years old. Maybe there's been some racist or prejudiced people in my path, but I guarantee they have been far and few between. Like, they have not stopped shit I've tried to do. Nothing. If I bumped into somebody that may have held an ill will towards me because of the color of my skin or because of how I may act or talk, I just go to the next place. Yeah. Because I can't not keep moving and also say that I serve a God that's going to knock down them doors for me. So how do you do that? Like, how do you simultaneously say that you serve a God that wants you to live life and life more abundantly, but you're able to sit back and accept the excuses of, oh, they didn't hire me because I was black. Oh, I didn't.
Yep.
So that does that, even with me repeating it, doesn't make sense. It probably makes sense to y'all that want to live with those excuses because it's not going to force you to get up and do something about it. But you're going to have to prove to me. Like, you're going to have to tell me right now, hey, Rob, I wanted to start this business. I went and talked to this white man or this Mexican man or this other black man, and he told me I couldn't start it. And so I went over here and they told me the same thing. And I went over here and I told them the same thing. Because Doyle said earlier, in baseball, 30% success. 30%. So if you talk to 10 people, you mean to tell me all 10 of them? Because if you just get the 3, you can advance to the next step.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have you talked to 10 people? Have you tried 10 times? Or did you just go to the first person and go in there acting all ignorant and be mad that they didn't hire you when somebody that was less ignorant came before you and behind you? Like, so we don't even have to.
Yeah.
That's a can of worms. That's a can of worms. That because I say that because you have to understand, when I say that we have been able to create some resemblance of success coming from Bryan, Texas. Like, Bryan is a small place. Dude, the world is a huge place. It's a huge place with a ton of opportunities, a ton of different experiences that you can have, but you got to get out and do some work, man. Like, you're going to have to get out and get it. Like, you got to go get it. Like, nobody's giving anything to you. Stop waiting on a handout.
It's there.
Like,
it's there.
And it's you're missing out on a full life is because of, if because somebody looks different than you, that you don't foster a friendship with them or don't approach them. Because I can tell you right now, like, I don't know if it's an even split, but I have a ton of Mexican and white friends. Yeah. Asian friends. Like, that makes my life whole. Like, I can call them and I get different perspectives. I get, different views on how they're moving throughout the world. I learn stuff from them. My boy, shout out to John Heffley, Boar's Nest out in Columbus. Man, he lets me come out there whenever I want to. And he's taught me more in the last 4 years about how to farm, taught me how to drive a tractor. Like, I didn't know how to do none of that stuff. This is a white man that don't have nothing. Like, he has no obligation to teach me anything. So you jump on Facebook and tell me all white people hate me, and then I ride out here and there's this white man that has his own life. He don't have no obligation to teach me anything, that has taught me how to hunt, that has taught me how to drive a tractor, that has opened up his house and his family's land to me. Whenever I want to go out, I'm supposed to hate him?
You're right. That's the people. That's what people. But you're a sellout.
Oh, of course.
But you're a sellout.
Yeah, I done sold all the way out.
Yeah, man, hell yeah. Man, my best friends are white, man, and I mean, shit. I'm pretty sure you done got it too. Oh man, you acting white.
Yeah.
Talking white. Just being me.
Yeah.
I'm a people's person, man, but it's more to it than what's really right there in front of you, man. Like, say, you can attest to it, man. Like, say, man, so like tailgating, football parties. I don't know no black people that's doing that kind of shit. That's going to invite you. Or if they do, there's no altercations. We to that point to where we want to be able to enjoy ourselves, but we want to be peace.
Roger that. Yeah.
You want that peace. And so, man, like,
because you want to get home.
Man, you want to get home, dog.
Enjoy yourself, and get home.
I think now, bro, like, I probably got more white friends than I do any other race.
Listen.
And these people would do the exact same thing for me that I would do for them. Give shirt off my back, man. Hell, if you need $10, you need $100, you need $1,000. And I know next week, hey, man, when you gonna, when you gonna get my money back?
What that $20 loan?
You want that $20 loan, man, like, shit. And then it's like, you owe me, but you know what? It don't even matter. Take a drink.
Yeah.
Let me buy you a drink,
Yeah.
Man, it's just different, man. But that just comes with growth, man.
Yeah.
And being in a mindset to accept everybody, because there's going to be somebody within that pool that's going to help you grow.
And that's
I'll go back to your boy at the Boar's Nest. You don't meet him. You don't give yourself an opportunity to allow him to come into your life.
Yeah.
You're not in that situation.
And And just that situation alone has allowed me to take my sons out to hunt. I got a deep freezer out there full of meat from his property, right? Like, so if I would have been so caught up in like, it's got to be pro this or pro that, then that opportunity would have never presented itself, right? So I'm kind of with you on I won't say I'm kind of with you. I'm 100% with you on the majority of my friends. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Don't take
this. This is just for those of you, and out of 100, it may be one. If your white or Hispanic friends invite you out, go. By all means, go. You're gonna learn something. You're gonna learn something, and they're gonna open up something to you. I have. We frequently go down to the valley. As a matter of fact, we're going probably in about 2 weeks, and we cross over. One of my good friends over there, I mean, has nothing. Like I think that 75 cents an hour is their minimum wage. So I can go down there and throw him $50, and that's like 2 weeks' pay. Like it's bananas. Checks on me more than anybody. Like he literally texts me every day or every other day, right? So and they've accepted me. Like when I go down there, I don't need nobody with me. Like I've been down there so much that they take care of me like I'm one of their own, right? Awesome, so, and that's been going on since. But I've opened myself up to that since I was a little kid because I felt like an opportunity to experience what other people bring to the table. If you don't take advantage of that, you missed out on life. Like if you're sitting here saying to yourself like we all are God's, like we're brothers and sisters in Christ, then why aren't you acting like brothers and sisters with people that just don't look like you or act like you are? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why you put yourself in a cage to where, what if I'm in a cage full of animals just because I'm trying to prove a point that I want to be down? I want to be, and what does that do for my, my sons or my, my daughters or my family when we're supposed to be brothers and sisters? What if this person that's Hispanic offers me an opportunity that betters me as a man, as a father, and so don't sell yourself short. Don't be offended by what we're saying right now. You need to understand that this is what accountability looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that myself and Doyle have got to the point where we're tired of hearing the same old excuses.
That's it.
And it's like, dude, like, is it what you're saying or is it you? Because I can tell you, it's sitting in this room right now that in what we've experienced hasn't been some phenomenon. Like this has just been because we've decided that, you know what, despite what it may look like, we're going to get it. Yeah. Because Aiden deserves it. Right? Because Dwayne and Ryan and Riley and Deanna deserve it. Like there's no, like either you can sit there with those excuses, you can go to your grave with those same excuses, or you can say, you know what? Let me at least leave behind an example of that I tried everything and my point was proven that they don't accept us, because that's not true. This man he's got 2 successful businesses that are growing, and he's trying to do more for the community. So talk to me. Here's an example. If you need an example from Bryan College Station of somebody that has come from where he's come from and been able to provide opportunities, been able to do what he's wanted to do. This because he didn't tell me that somebody put a gun to his head and said, you better start Loyalty Roofing or, Yogi Logistics. He said that that's what he wanted to do. Yeah. And he sat on the idea because he was concerned with failing, which is same thing with me, man. I talked to him earlier. Shout out to my homeboy Brooks. We're gonna call you out on this one, so make sure you look at this.
Dre, you get
Andre Brooks, man. I've been telling you for the last 2 or 3 years, start your podcast, start your YouTube channel, start putting that information out there because you are a brilliant brother and you have a lot to offer.
Dre sitting on so much knowledge, man.
Man, hey, I work with him.
Sharp, man.
Work with him every day, man, and it's like it's us that are in our own way. So as soon as we get out of our own way and just start putting stuff out there, starting a business and doing whatever God wants to succeed is going to succeed. And whatever's supposed to fall by the wayside is going to fall by the wayside, and God is going to put something else there. Like it's nothing in your way. You in your way. You in your way.
Damn,
Dre. Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate you, boy. Get after it, man. Like, I've been on Dre. Ty, if you're watching this, and I'm sure you will, because Bryan College Station, when I post this up, I'm sure Brian going to share it. And I love y'all. Brian, like, this is me coming from an overhead view of what's going on and speaking to the person that is looking for like, man, can I really get out of Bryan, Texas? Can I really do these things can I really do a Yogi Logistics? Can I really do yeah, from Bryan, Texas. Yeah, you can do it. Chances are you can do it and you're going to be successful at it. You know why? Because we grind different from down there. Like our hustling grind from down there is completely different. Like it's on some other stuff. And I've taken that to California. I've taken that to Germany. I've taken it everywhere that I went. Like people don't understand. Like, no, when I say I'm gonna get, like I gotta get it. Like I gotta get it because I gotta go back home and look Doyle in the face and tell him he can get it.
Yeah.
Because I went out and got it. Not lie to him, but say, yeah, we can do that. We can go out to, we can go out to weed.
Because you literally did, man. You know, like say your whole hustle and motivation. Like say, I'm watching. I'm watching.
Yeah, it's going down.
Shit. Yeah. And you know, so like say, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna pay homage. Like say, man, I've been watching y'all boys, man. Now y'all move different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shit, you know. So now I gotta put my own little twist to it. You know, but shit, man. Yeah, I'm watching y'all boys do y'all thing.
And don't I owe it to a Mr. and Miss Gray? You dig what I'm saying? Like, don't I owe it to them? Like, that have taken their time. Now, Doyle's mom, Miss Gray, could have went home and just gave all of the beauty that God gave her to educate us and just give it to her kids. But she didn't. She gave it to all of us, like everybody. So don't I owe it to her to be the best that I can be so that one day when God reads off, you know, my deeds or whatever else, he can say, you know what? Who do you think contributed to you becoming the person that you became? Miss Gray did. She was one of them. Like, I don't owe that to her. After she took the time out to pull me by my neck and tell me what I was doing wrong, and then get on the phone and call Elnora Caldwell and say, hey, I got Dwayne up here, and this is how he's acting. I know y'all have taught him better, and so I got to get that whooping. Yeah. I don't owe her that because she didn't have to do that on her conference period. But she held us to a standard to where she knew where we were trying to go. She did what she did so we can be here doing this right now.
Amen, dog.
And that's some real, like that's, if you've got nothing else from that, the people that came before you that have literally died, and when I say literally, I'm talking about blood, they bled out. Like they lynched, hung, whatever the case may be, so that you can have the opportunity to do the things that you can do now. Don't they deserve something from you besides excuses?
Besides excuses.
Come on, man. We about an hour and 15 minutes in, man. I'm gonna ask you this, and then we're gonna get out of here. Yeah. Any advice that you would give somebody that's trying to, man, I don't want to insult you and say do better than you. You know, do what you're doing. I want you to. Because you said you want them to do better than you.
I want you
to. What would you advise somebody that's sitting there right now that's listening to this and saying, man, I live in Bryan, I live in College Station, I live in Hearn, Calvert, Navasota, one of these small towns in the same, you know, that valley that we're from, and I want to start my own business. I want to start. What do you tell that person that's thinking about?
Man, so what I will say, first of all, be a sponge, right? Be a sponge. You have to set your pride aside and ask somebody.
Oh man,
ask them, and then but you got to be respectful. So when they give you the game, receive it. Okay. And then you go, man. A lot of people, you know what I mean. Be coachable. Be coachable. Okay. Be coachable, man. And so take that, man. Ask around. Ask people. You know, like man, a lot of people don't know, man. Like I used to go into businesses, man, and just ask for the manager.
Oh man.
Come on, dude. And I just sit up there and just strike a relationship with them, conversation with them. Just like, if I wanted to be where you are, how do I start?
Oh, man.
Come on, man. I have that conversation with numerous of people.
So you got to leave the ego. Like, ego, got to take the ego out of it.
Got to set it to the side, man. Got to set it to the side. Because if you want to get to, you don't know really what you're supposed to be doing.
Roger that, yeah.
Right? You know, aside from reading, you got to read too. Okay. Get your butt in a book and read and be, I don't even know what I want to say, but be as mindful as you can, right? On doing what you want to do. Perfect your craft. Oh man. Perfect your craft. So I know one thing about roofing. It was a job at first. Okay. And then it started becoming creative.
Yeah. So you enjoying it.
Man. So I went from just dealing with straight residential. So now I'm doing commercial stuff. Now I'm doing multifamily stuff.
Oh man.
You know, and like I say, now we
build
this stuff up from the ground in. So if you just had a flood in here, I got guys that will come in here, man, and I'm learning and I'm reading on what they're doing, so I know how to do it just in case.
Oh
man, we'll remodel this whole thing, bro, in a couple weeks with them guys, man. Yeah. I'm blessed. You gotta have a good crew though on the roofer side. You know, shout out to my guys. But yeah, but be a sponge, bro.
Okay. That's right? The most important thing.
Be a sponge because once you ask that, they're gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
You know.
They've been waiting on somebody to come and ask.
Don't insult their presence, don't insult their knowledge. So when they give it to you, appreciate it, and then you go take off. I guarantee you there's nobody in the world that does not want to see you succeed if you just ask.
Oh man. Okay.
You know, one thing we learned, sit in the front of the classroom, right?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Versus just sitting in the back, that shows that you want it. So you're that student now that sits in the front of the classroom,
okay,
because you want to learn.
Okay.
And that's what it is about, you know, try to get to being a successful business owner. It's just, man, you gotta ask questions.
Okay.
You know.
So just soak up everything that you can.
Soak
and
it
ask
up,
as
dude.
many questions as you.
Yeah, man.
And be mindful.
You don't know it all.
Yeah, and be mindful of where you're going and what that information can do for you. Man, so what I would probably add to that is, man, I may be lying if I say Think and Grow Rich, but I think Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, I may have read, I'm lying, because it wasn't Napoleon Hill, but Fail Your Way Forward, right? So I've had a problem with it, and Doyle admitted that he had a problem with it too. It's like the fear of failure. Like you grow up, you know, and you don't want to put yourself out there because you don't want to fail, because you know people are gonna be like, yeah, I told you, like, you know, fail your way forward. Don't be afraid to fail. If you like, when you fall forward, right? So if you trip forward. Don't trip and fall back. Trip and fall forward, because you've learned something on the way down. And get back up and keep moving forward. You're probably gonna fail again. You dig what I'm saying? So, be a sponge. Fail your way forward. Be open to learning.
Be open to learning, bro.
You don't know everything, and your mama don't know everything. Your daddy don't know everything. If your mama and daddy know everything, then you wouldn't be out here asking me questions.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So, it's there for you, and like, dude, like I can literally remember, as if it was yesterday, me walking across the stage at Bryan High. That was 1996. I'll be 48 this year. Life goes by quick. So when you reach those last days, do you want to look at your kids or whoever remains and say, I wish daddy would have did this, or I wish daddy could have did that, or I wish I wouldn't have been scared and did this and that, or whatever the case may be? Or do you want to say, fucking did it. Like, I laid it all out.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers like y'all, if y'all fuck this up, y'all fuck this up. It ain't because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't because I didn't go out and do what I was supposed to do. And if your kids take that same drive and determination and open-mindedness, willingness to learn, willingness to fail their way forward, and they propel your family line even further. Just imagine if somebody from your legacy does that every generation. What if they all do that every generation? Where y'all gonna be 200 years from now if we still around here? So, man, just dig your fucking heels in. Understand that everybody's struggling. Even the people that you see posting their best stuff on social media, they struggling too. They just don't post the shit. Like this. I know these motherfuckers. So when they post shit, I'm like, nigga, I just fucking talked to you. You just tried to borrow some money from me. Yeah. Now you in Miami doing the most. Like, for the gram and for Facebook and all that. That shit is like that's surface level, man. Like, I want y'all to get to the point to where you understand that anything that you like, if God has put it on your heart, it's attainable. He wouldn't have gave it to you. Like, whatever you're thinking about now, he wouldn't have gave you that thought process if he wasn't going to give you everything that you need to attain what he gave you. He don't. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say he don't give some people, but I think he gives us all some, because we're good at something.
He gives us all those tools and equipment, man.
Yeah, and everybody's got their own. Like, you stay in your own. Like, don't look at what I do and compare what you're trying to do, to what I'm doing. Like God gave me this. Like this, me and kinfolk chopping it up. Like this is natural to me. Like this is what we would. This is how we would talk.
This is how we would talk any other time.
If we was just chilling, right? But everybody ain't got that. Like some people are like they don't like to talk. They whatever God gave you, He gave you something. Like if He knows every hair on your head, you dig what I'm saying? Like He didn't just create you to just be existent. He created you to perform a task, to complete a mission. Talk to God about what that mission is. And please understand, we were talking a few minutes ago, don't be offended by what we were saying about the black and brown community. Take what we're saying and push the shit that you've been taught aside. Because you're going to have a lot of people in your ear saying because you're black or brown that you can't do this or that. Mm-hmm. I'm here to tell you that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that there won't be obstacles in the way, because there may be because you're black or brown. But I guarantee you the opportunities will outweigh the obstacles. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? So push that aside. Stay in prayer with God about what you want to do, man, and just go after it. If nothing else, even if you don't reach whatever you think your goal is, what are your kids watching? You dig what I'm saying? When Aiden sees, like, man, Dad didn't make $20 million like he wanted to, but what the fuck, he made $5 million. Dad did it until his last breath. So now it's my turn to get the other 15. Yeah. Like that needs to be the thought process. Not I have all these things in the way, so I can't do nothing, and I'm not going to do nothing. Because then you're just handing the baton off to your kids that have that same mentality, and they're looking for a government handout. They're looking for somebody to give them something. Nobody giving you shit. Nobody owes you shit. But I'm telling you, you live in a country right now where you can get whatever the fuck you're willing to work for. Work.
What they say, you can be all you can be.
Yeah.
That's 100% golden there, dude.
Yeah.
That's a check that will never bounce.
Yeah. Yeah, you willing to put the work in, you can get it.
100%.
Because somebody has before you. Yep. Whatever you're trying to do, I can guarantee you. If you get on Google and say, Hispanic mom that moved from Mexico and was able to become a millionaire, I guarantee you will find hundreds of examples. Mm-hmm. Because it's possible here. Oh, so stop making excuses for yourself, man. Hey, man, listen. Excuses. Dog great, man. I thought we was gonna go for like 30 minutes, man.
Man, come on, baby. You know damn well shit. Yeah, once we get a chance to get comfortable, man, and you know what I'm saying, with no schedule, man, it's you already know how we're gonna go, man.
We don't, I'm happy internally right now because I know that at some point, me and Doyle will be gone. Like we'll be 6 feet under. But this will remain. Like people will be able to reflect on this, man. And we had this moment to where it's like. My sons and daughters and your kids can look back and say, man, remember when Dad sat down and man, them niggas was wild for real.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And to hear them talk about where they came from and the possibilities allowed us to soar.
That's it, dude.
Man, that's like I'm so happy at what's happening right now. Like this moment. Like I didn't think today was gonna be a normal day, man. I talked to Doyle and when I hit Doyle up and was like, man, let's do a podcast together. Of course, he was like, hey, just tell me when. Like, we can get after it. Just tell me when. Like, I'm telling you, we're just going to do a podcast and see what happens. But I'm going to get off this thing with the feeling of, like, dude, this is what's up.
Yeah.
Like, this player.
Yeah.
For real. This will transcend us long after we're gone. Somebody will pop this thing in, man, and if it reaches that one kid that's coming out of Bryan College Station or, some small town in Oklahoma or New York and California that was like, if them niggas from Bryan, Texas can do what they talk about they did, then man. I don't have to be a banger. Like I don't have to bang. Like I can go do whatever.
It's resources, man.
Yeah.
It's resources. Take advantage of it.
Yeah. They're there. It's there, man. You just have to. I think the thing that y'all have to understand is that it's going to take some work and nobody's going to give it to you. Like, that's the biggest problem. Because as soon as you start working and moving in that direction, not only will the information come to you, but God will send people to you.
He will, dude.
I cannot tell you how many people that have reached out to me via email or stopped me on the streets. It's like, man, I follow you on Facebook. If you ever do something with kids, I want to make sure that I can sponsor a kid to go hunt. Like, what? Like you just have to get out there and put yourself out there. And people show up. Like God is gonna put those people in your life. I promise you that. If you get out there and do the work, and you show up how God wants you to show up, yeah, he gonna He gonna put the people.
He gonna put them there, man. And they gonna be ready to work just as hard as you are, man. It's funny how they say. It's funny, like the friendship, the pool that I got, man. I'm not gonna even start naming names because somebody gonna send me a message like,
you
forgot
about
me.
You forgot I sent you the paper clips last month.
But the ones that's in your corner, they know it, and they all share a special part in your growth.
And like I said earlier, man, like don't I owe it to them?
Correct.
Don't you owe it to them? The people
Correct.
that's in your corner that
Correct.
when you want to go do a cornhole tournament,
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying, or you want to, you know. I'm sure that you got some phone calls from Yogi Logistics or the roofing company that you have that have been relationships you made. It like them people have showed up for you.
Yeah.
So don't you owe it to them to be the best version of you
100%
that you can be. So that's all we trying to do, man. Like, and it looks different for everybody. Like his 100% may be different from mine. But at the end of the day, if we can sit down together, man, and our 100% inspires you to live up to your 100%, shit, we done did our job.
We did our job. We did our job,
man.
Yeah.
So, man, in closing, dude, number one, I appreciate you.
100%.
As a brother, man, I appreciate not only our friendship and our relationship, but what you're doing and the effect that it's going to have on those that come behind us.
Appreciate that.
We oftentimes give each other flowers, like stand up at a funeral and talk about
what you did.
But what if I would have heard that, you know, when I was here, it may have made us appreciate each other even more.
Exactly.
So I don't want to pass up the opportunity to say, man, like, there's not a whole lot of people I deal with.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't want to deal with them. It's because I know where I'm trying to go, and I know what they have to offer me. And if it doesn't match up, I'm not going to bring that into my energy.
You can't do it, man.
You're one of the people that you can be in my energy at all times, like, because I know where you're going, man.
Right.
And I appreciate you, man, and your family, man, and I can't say enough, man. Like it's and as genuine as I could be, man. I love you for real.
Yeah, man. That shit mutual, bro. You know, I love you also, man. But one thing that always stuck with me, bro. I don't know how old we were, but it's always equal or greater value, huh?
Oh man.
Woo! Huh?
I think that came from John Lasseter.
Shit, man. Hey, man, you told me that shit, dog. And that thing stuck with me in all phases of life, dog.
Yeah.
Like, it's equal or greater value, man.
Yeah, and so that concept is, and if I was to leave it with you and tell you that it would be your circle, right? If the people in your circle can't offer you what you're offering them or bring more to the table, they don't need to be in your circle.
They don't need to be in there.
At all.
Nah.
Because you can't grow with people that are pulling you the opposite direction. Yeah. It just ain't gonna happen, man. So, dude.
If I don't hear everything else, dog, equal or greater value, man.
Man, this has been dude, I ain't had no idea we was gonna go hard like this.
Yeah, man. Shit, that's what's up, man.
On my behalf, man, shout out to Loyalty Roofing, Yogi Logistics. Shout out to the homie Aiden Gray. Shout out to Miss Gray. RIP, Mr. Gray. I love y'all, man. Like, for real. Y'all really had an impact on a whole lot of us. So your family name will ring in our history forever, man. Is there anybody you want to send a shout out to before we get out of here?
Man, I just want to send I'm not gonna even send a shout out, bro. I'm just gonna send much love and blessings to your podcast, man. That you know that it's gonna grow, it's gonna flourish, and it's gonna touch those that need to be touched. And somebody on one of these shows are gonna take something from one of your segments, and it's gonna make them a better person.
Oh man.
So you know, God bless what you're doing right now, my brother.
All right, man. So hey, this is RDP, this the homie DOYLE, RDP Podcast, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be sure to share this thing, man. And dude, hopefully we'll be hitting y'all with some more. DOYLE gonna be back. Like this is the first of many, if it's God's will. And I don't know, man. If he hired me on to work with him, man, he might be a co-host at some point, man. Like, so we can just. So what I would really like to do, just personally, man, I would really like to not only interview my friends throughout the country, but I want to definitely spend some time in Bryan College Station to focus on the young artists, the young entrepreneurs, and those people down there that don't really have a voice, man. Because if I have a little bit of a platform to put them on, if they gain 1 or 2 people that can utilize their services.
Man, we can do that shit at my house, man.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Okay.
can do that shit at my
So
house.
y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. So if y'all message me and be like, man, you said you was coming to Brian and you ain't made it yet, I'm be like, hey, y'all remember that first podcast when Doyle was like, you can do it at my house? Every time I called him, man, he done turned the phone off. Anyway, man, I love y'all, man. God bless y'all, dude. Thank y'all for tuning in and listening to you boys, man. And we'll get back with y'all.
Make yourself clear, baby. If you wanna fool around, make yourself clear.